You guys have highlighted a few themes like just now as well throughout this call. Identity and purpose, and especially identity, I think. So what was kind of touched on at the beginning of this panel was a lot of guys lack identity. They can't really find themselves. They struggle to find themselves.
Mm.
And some guys like Barrett, they're capable of coming on, showing your face. That's a man who has some integrity, identity. Do you have any advice for guys who are struggling with what their passions are, what their purpose is, what their identity should be, how to
Well,
build that?
But that's why.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, Dave. Oh, go ahead, D. You got it, brother. You got it, Devin. I'll go
yeah,
behind.
yeah. So I think it really just starts with like figuring out who you were before the world told you who you should be, right? Before
Mm.
all the programming, before a voice got in your head told you you shouldn't do something. Going back to that place of childhood curiosity where it's like, okay, you started to just do whatever you want without having that people pleaser mask on, without trying to impress people or trying to say the right thing or to try to fit in,
Right. That's
right?
why that's what game is all about. That's what people don't understand. That's the essence of game. And that's what it is to understand who you are, not in this world, but to yourself. Like Devin was saying, so many of these young men lost the concept of who they are based off of how they started to feel their anxieties, and they created and labeled things and then walked away from who they actually were. The thing about game at its core is an unconditional love for yourself. That's it at its core. Nothing. It's about loving me so much, because I've always said at the end of the day, I always tell people to watch a documentary called The Great Sperm Race to, number one, know that your mother is the ultimate killer because you wiped out all your brothers and sisters. But number two, there was something inside of you that got you to the egg. That what you didn't have to go on sperm tube, you didn't have to go on spermogram or anything like that. There was just something inside you that had a drive of your behavior to get to the egg. And what we're saying as teaching young men game is we're trying to get you back to that essence of learning who you are and stop worrying about everybody else. Have a belief, have a love, and a concept of oneself, and then you'll be fine at the end of the day.
Yeah, the thing is, and shout out to my dude Miles Cunningham. He has the Masculine Identity Membership, masculineidentitymembership.com. And that basically we're talking about when we talk about identity is understanding who you are and not wavering or moving based on anything else but yourself. And so the unfortunate part is this is why a lot of you guys out there lose with women, because you'll say,
He got
I'll
it.
do this,
He got
right?
it.
Based on how hot the girl is. You understand what I'm saying? Or I'll do that based on if the woman is doing. So a lot of times you switch up who you are and what you're about because you think the girl's hot. You're like, well, she's hot, so I'm going to do this for her. Even though I never go out to expensive restaurants, but I'm going to go out to an expensive restaurant for her. And that means that you ain't got your own identity. You're just going based on what the woman is doing and trying to get her in that sense. You see what I'm saying?
You see, interesting.
Yeah.